Hello everyone, my name is Woodlight and welcome to the ATA review for Sheffield Wednesday knocking Arsenal out of the Capital One Cup. This video might be a little shorter than I normally do it, and that is because I don't actually care. I really don't. I struggle with the Capital One Cup. I mentioned it in the preview. I would like to care, but I don't, and I haven't done for so many years. In fact, from an Arsenal point of view, it's almost like the perfect competition that we've done this season, bar one thing: injuries. That's the one thing that you don't want from the Capital One Cup. Ideally, the Capital One Cup is a competition where you get to play the players that don't get to play in the bigger competitions, the competitions that actually matter. It's a means of keeping people happy and keeping people fit if they're needed. Didn't happen, rarely ever happens, because in order to keep the squad doing well against certain teams, especially when cup competitions normally bring the best out of lower sides, it means that you normally play a couple senior players with some squad players. Unfortunately, our senior players are bloody injured. Theo Walcott's probably going to be the biggest miss. Oxlade-Chamberlain seems to be a precautionary thing. He might be out for a little while, but hopefully he should be back pretty soon, though I don't know. If he is out for a little while, that does suck, because with Ramsey being out, this is the time for Oxlade-Chamberlain to really make his mark, because he should be nailing his place on the first team sheet for that right wing position. Theo Walcott being out though, that does suck. And Giroud played the full 90 minutes as well. So that's bad for our striker situation for competitions that do matter, like the Premier League coming up on the weekend away to Swansea, and then on Wednesday we've got the trip to Bavaria where we play Bayern Munich in the Champions League. Bar that, it was a perfect competition for Arsenal because we got knocked out as soon as we could after we beat our neighbours. Beat the neighbours, showed that we're better than them, even with players like Matthew Flamini scoring twice. I mean, seriously, when does that ever happen? But then we just, thought, all right, well, let's just get knocked out in the next round. Obviously, that's not actually what the thinking was behind it, but that's how I'm looking at it as an Arsenal fan. Just whatever. I'm sorry, but I don't care. With the Capital One Cup out the way, it means that the fixture congestion, which is normally bad enough as it is in December and January, it will be less now, which is good. The only person to really benefit from the Capital One Cup is the team that wins, and no one else cares if you win it. It's just a nice day out, basically, or it's just like a nice, because it's weird. You've got a cup final in the middle of a season, and it's like you don't get any time to celebrate it. The feeling doesn't last long because the next day it's like, all right, well, who are we playing in 4 days' time? It's so. Weird. Credit to Sheffield Wednesday though, we were there for the taking and they bloody well gave it to us. Set pieces were key, but the first goal actually came from a very nice move, bar the fact that the defending was appalling, but that's not Sheffield Wednesday's fault. So well done Sheffield Wednesday, you guys enjoyed the Capital One Cup. I will enjoy not watching the Capital One Cup. In fact, the footage for this game was actually terrible anyway. I was watching it below 10 frames a second and my internet kept cutting out, so I didn't really get to see as much of the game as I would have chosen to, but it turns out perhaps I actually got a better deal than perhaps you guys did. I will talk to you all on Friday, and we will talk about the Swansea game, a competition that I do care about. Otherwise, check out the Facebook link and my own channel in the description if you, you probably don't like me after this video, but my link is in the description as well. I will see you guys on Friday. Let me know what you guys thought of the Capital One Cup. Obviously, that was an embarrassment to the to Arsenal, but do you guys care, or are you kind of like me? It's just sort of whatever. Let's move on. I will see you guys on Friday. See ya.